gonna be a special one. You know, this is Ray. This is based off characters where I interview very, very interesting people from all walks of the world. And today I've been waiting. I have cleared my calendar. I am going to tell you that this lady here is legit in the film business, producer. You see the belly back there, one of my favorite movies of all time. And so she knows what she's talking about. So I'm going to let her introduce herself to you all. It's on you.
Well, hello, based on characters. I am Nina Stakz, writer, director, producer of what I still call lovingly some of your favorite hood movies on Tubi. Um, I've been in the film space only about, let's see, this is 24. So we're going about 6 years now. I currently have 7 films streaming on Tubi. I'm wrapping up my 10th feature film. It's called Southside Hero. It's amazing. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm doing this the hood way. I'm trying to be like the Master P of the indie film world out
There you
here.
go.
Like, no limit.
All right. All right. All
You
right.
have to
First
excuse
thing.
me. I'm just
Uh,
rapping film and I lose my voice after every movie, so sorry.
hey, I know how it is. When I filmed my first one, I was tired. I gotta sit there and do editing, and I gotta sit there, and my voice ain't together because I've been talking the whole time behind the scenes, trying to get people in blocking situations and making sure their lines are good. So I've been there before. Not as much as you,
Exhausted.
but yeah.
Exhausted.
All right, so let's start off with a basic question, and it's, who are you and where are you from, and tell us a little bit about you.
All right. Well, I like to say that I was raised in St. Louis,
Okay,
made in Memphis, and paid in Atlanta. So
there
I
we
grew
go.
up in St. Louis, Missouri. Um, Once I left college, I moved to Memphis, and that's where I stayed for the better part of about 10 years. Um, I worked in radio there and started into more, videography stuff in Memphis. Is kind of where I grew that part of my company. And then it got to a point where I felt like, things had to go up. And the only logical move from a place like Memphis would be Atlanta. It's close, it's same kind of market,
Okay.
but there's much more money here. So I did that, and man, I was doing music videos for years, and everybody I did a music video for was like, "Oh man, this stuff look like movies, man. You ever shot a movie? Like you should shoot a movie." I'm like, "No, I never shot no movie." So one day I just decided to do it. I did a short film with some buddies of mine, and it got like hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube out of nowhere. And that was kind of a launching pad to say, okay, well, maybe people kind of dig my view on things. You know what I'm saying? So let me try it
Okay.
again. And we just kept doing things that did well. So I was like, okay, let's try a movie, like a whole one.
Okay.
And we did it, and it shot to the top of Tubi very quickly. And we are 10 movies in now.
Mm, 10 deep. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Now, that's definitely a lot. That means you've been behind the camera a whole lot here in a
Man,
short period of
you have no idea.
time.
No
well,
idea.
I want an idea about your style. I want to know about what do you consider yourself? I mean, what is your style of filmmaking?
Okay, so, and I need to trademark this now that I think about it. But I like to call my movies trap fiction.
Mm,
Um,
you need to trademark that. Yeah.
um, and I also, and a shout out to one of the people I worked with for many years. It definitely influenced the way I move right now. Young Dolph, I like to call them high class street movies.
There you go.
Because and people, a lot of the people in the film community, I call them hood movies. A lot of people in the film community say, "Oh, don't call them that," blah, 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 blah. But I don't think there's a negative connotation with a hood movie. Some movies take place in the hood and they're about hood people. If that's a hood movie, like I mean, that's what it is. So, but trap fiction is my genre.
Okay.
Especially because I kind of like the crime drama and the kind of drug dealing stuff and things like that. But I'm also I do rom coms. My biggest movie I think I would consider a rom com. It's a relationship movie
Okay.
with lots of funny notes. But I just like to make things that are like authentically black. I feel like I
Mm.
watch shows and it's either a white version of white people's perception of what black people are supposed to be like,
Mm-hmm.
or some like ultra ghetto ridiculous black, black thing. It's like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel real to me. So I kind of pride myself on being as authentic as possible. I want all of my characters to feel like somebody, like, oh my God, my cousin just like that, or boy, he sounds just like my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's cool. I think that's why my movies do well. I think they're very relatable. Um, but that's what I like to call them, trap fiction. All of them are trappy, but that's just kind of what I call them.
All right. Well, shoot. Well, you kind of stole my thunder a little bit because I
Oh,
have been paying attention to you. But now I'll ask you about Dolph, like one of my favorite artists or whatever. Obviously, he's not here, but I did see something online that you have produced of him. So tell me a little bit about Dolph and maybe what have you produced, I guess, music wise for him.
well, for Dolph, I just was kind of on the creative team for Dolph. So
Okay.
I worked with his video director, doing a lot of creative direction, art direction, casting, stuff like that. Um, Setting up photo shoots, just generally helping out on the scene. He shot a number of videos at my house.
Mm,
Just part of the basically kind of the visual team for the better part of about 10 years with Dolph. And Isaiah Conyers, who was his director for many years. Um, and we just got all kind of grew together. We went from Memphis to Atlanta, and we were all still working pretty solid. So
okay. All right.
yeah, we were there from the early days of Dolph in the studio with Squeaky and all that stuff. Shout
Yes.
out to my homeboy Jermaine Black, who originally introduced me to Dolph one night at random in the studio with Squeaky, and we just worked for years after that.
All right. Well, shout out to Squeaky too. I met him
For
years
sure.
ago, back in the day, back when he was doing his stuff for producing, and always still producing. But shout out to Squeak.
Oh, you're a
All right.
producer.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. And
Good enough.
yes, ma'am. I gotta ask you a question.
Okay.
ATL. When you touched ground down there, and you said you're gonna do what you're gonna do in the film industry, how did it feel to get into the jungle of the ATL movement of film? Because there's a lot of people out there that's doing things like you, but I know you got your unique style. So, is there somebody that kind of inspired you in ATL that you kind of like their style, what they have going on, of filmmaking?
Um, I feel like I developed my style with music videos. I feel
Okay.
like that is kind of how I even shoot my movies now. They kind of give you like a music video y sort of feel. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can say any person influenced my style that I know personally. Now, if we talk about my influences, Spike Lee, Hype
Okay.
Williams, things like that. But now when it comes to uh, hmm, now I do have friends who have inspired me artistically and that
Okay.
I've learned from other directors. I Am Iconic. Isaiah Connors, very, very highly skilled director, highly skilled DP. I learned so much from him. Derek Baines, now he is from Memphis and was in Atlanta before the rest of us. Now I will say when I touched down here, I was able to get on set with him immediately, and he's worked with everybody, Future and Akon, Amigos. So I was able to kind of hit the ground running because I did have a local Memphis connection here who was doing the same thing I was doing. So I got on his set and did whatever I was PAing, I was doing lights, whatever we had to do. And that's kind of how I started to get to know people here and started to make a name for myself. Then I started renting my house out for productions. And that is when I
Okay.
started meeting everybody. Every young rapper that has come up is shot video in this house from about 2015 to about 2019. Dirks and I mean all of his Young Thug, all the YSL guys.
Okay.
I mean everybody, Lil Baby, everybody shot a video here. So I just started meeting a lot of people, a lot of rappers, a lot of the label people, and stuff just started kind of rolling. And the name sticks with you when you meet Nina Stacks. Be like, oh yeah, the production lady. Like, oh yeah, So,
Right. Right.
um, I just when I started to see, what I think influenced me the most is seeing the hustle of Atlanta people. Like, it's like if you don't plan to come down here and get on your shit, stay where the fuck you at. Like, don't come here with no lazy entitled shit. Like, that's not what it's about. I was like,
Right. Right.
okay, but that's who I am anyway. So this was like me jumping in the lake. I'm back at home now. I'm like, bet, let's hustle again. Like, once I figured that out and I started to see how people move, I'm like, okay, I just got to start moving because here it's about when you in motion, people see it.
Mm-hmm.
You be the most talented person on earth. Nobody gives a fuck if they're not seeing you making your own moves. But when you're making your own moves, you're gonna get support. You're gonna get investment. But until they see you moving, like, it doesn't matter. So here it's like once I started, it's so interesting. All these guys who used to shoot videos at my house and didn't know who I was, now they're like, Nina, we trying to shoot a movie. I want to holler at you. I want to pick your brain. I want to do. These guys that I used to be trying to learn from are on my phone now because I've taken off in the movie stuff when they were trying to do it and just couldn't figure out how to work it. But I was learning from all of them and taking from all of them what I should do, what I shouldn't do. And now we rolling.